There we are. And now all I have to do is make sure that I'm live on YouTube. Jesus Christ. Hello. Oh, I can hear myself. But why can't I see myself?
I don't know.
Okay. But I can hear myself, that's good enough. But you know what? That's fine. Oh, I hear myself on that, on the actual web page. So, VGRT Gaming Podcast, episode 736, recorded on October 28th, 2024.
Hello, and welcome to the 736th edition of the TD Gaming Podcast, the 569th episode of Video Game Roundtable. I'm TJ Dunzer.
I'm Scott Dirk.
And I am Jonah Falcon.
The VGRT Gaming Podcast focuses on game news from around the industry.
Yeah, so if you're wondering why it sounds so weird, if you're listening to this on the podcast, that's because we're actually doing it live on YouTube. It's a new thing. I'm trying it out. And why not? And at least you can see me, and you can see TJ. You can't see Scott. That's okay. That little bald person there in the middle of white is perfect. So a lot has been going on. TJ, we know you reviewed Veilguard. We're not going to discuss it this week. We'll have to wait until next week because I'll be playing it on the 31st, and then we can talk about it, and compare notes, basically.
Roger that.
But other stuff has come out. And I know Shack News reviewed it. Shack News reviewed actually several stuff because several games came out. But there was another important game that came out today. Oh, Life is Strange Double Exposure. Have you played it?
I haven't. We did review it, though.
Yeah.
Our guy said, compelling story. Good continuation of Max's story in particular. The new characters that they show off are endearing. He said that it has some harsh performance issues and stilted dialogue in some places.
That has never really stopped me from enjoying a game, to tell you the truth. I mean, unless it's like really buggy, I'm not going to, I mean, there's some real buggy games. I mean, Obsidian, hello. But it takes a lot for me to, okay, there is one game, the one big thing the one big white elephant in the room, and that's City Skylines 2. It's a year later. I haven't gotten back to it, and I will at some point. But the thing is that, there's so many games that are coming out that I just haven't had a chance. So what have you been playing that's not Veilguard?
I've been playing the heck out of Metaphor ReFantazio.
Yeah, everybody else has. We have some news about that. So how much farther have you gotten in?
I got past the second main dungeon of the game.
Yeah.
The story, the characters in this game are so damn good. Like, better than
Atlas. Say whatever you want to say about Atlas, but they know how to create characters.
Yeah. Every one of them is pretty fun. Like, Stroll is like the kind of typical. Well, he's not even all that typical. He's a lord that, like, basically he became a traveling warrior to reclaim his honor after his town that his family presided over got burnt down. There's Hulkenberg, who's just a badass kind of elfish knight, and she's also a foodie that eats weird things, so that's kind of fun throughout the story.
This is an Atlas game. People eat. We know this.
And
remember, did you take that tip I mentioned in which don't cook anything until you get to level 4 so that it's instantaneous, you don't waste time?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's just the music and the combat are so good. Like, music is usually pretty good in an Atlas game, but the way that they streamline the combat, it's still kind of Persona-like, where the personas kind of act as like character classes. So, like, as you go through the game and meet more characters, you'll unlock stuff like the healer or the mage or the thief or the gunner.
Yeah.
And then you like spend a resource in the game to unlock that class for any given character and level it up on that specific character. And with every character, every class or archetype, as they call them in the game, that you've unlocked up to that point, you can basically hot swap them like equipment in the game. And I think that's cool as hell because you were able to like hot swap personas with the main character in the previous games, but everybody else had like one persona that they were stuck with. And being able to just like swap their classes as you need throughout the game, it makes for a lot of fun strategy and it makes for a lot of fun experimentation.
Okay. I have not been able to get back into Metaphor yet. I will at some point, but there's just a lot of stuff going on. Scott, what have you been playing?
I've been playing Beyond Galaxyland. It is a turn-based sci-fi side-scrolling RPG game in which you are like one of the few humans that have been taken from Earth because it's being taken over by this virus called the End, and your little guinea pig pal is turned into like a humanoid, and you're traversing space trying to find answers to what happened, and you can when you're fighting the battles, you can grab enemies and use them in combat. What else? There's and it
It's
has
cell shaded.
yeah,
It's
I think
a
it
cell
is.
shaded game. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, actually, no. No. Yeah,
pixel.
it's like polygonal. It's not pixel. It's polygonal. It's like everybody's made of boxes, and you really
It
can't.
does
They
kind
only
of
have eyes. They
remind.
don't have faces.
It does kind of remind me of an old game, Out of This World, where
Yeah.
you were also.
I mean, this looks like an homage to Amiga games, actually. Games in the Commodore Amiga.
It's a pretty fun game. I like the music, and the combat is fun, and the story seems pretty crazy.
There's only
So
one reviewer. There's only one review on Steam. That's weird.
pretty sure it has more than one. I have to go.
There's one. There are two curators, but there's only one user review.
That sounds strange because I know I
Yeah.
reviewed it.
You did? Oh,
Yeah.
may not have.
There's
I don't know.
124 reviews, so I don't know.
I
why
see one review. Anyways. Are you gonna play the new Eeks?
Oh yes, I'm looking forward
That's
to
the
that
that's
one.
the other major release this week. Oh, major.
The Ease game is a lot of fun. I did play the demo, and it looks really gorgeous and a lot of fun to play. They have, of course, the parrying and blocking mechanics that they want you to use in combat, so it makes it more interesting.
Okay. I have been playing some stuff. I downloaded Call of Duty 6. One of the things I liked about downloading Call of Duty 6 is they allow you to mix and match. You can just download the multiplayer, or you can just download the single player, or whatever. A lot of people appreciate that, and I noticed that they put everything into a Call of Duty banner, so now I could also, if I wanted to, download Modern Warfare 3, Modern Warfare 2, and all that stuff. But at least with Call of Duty 6, the only multiplayer I'm going to be doing is zombies. That's it. I don't care about I'm going to be doing the single player, but instead, I played the Plucky Squire, which is a really fun game. Do either of you know the Plucky Squire?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
Devolver Digital game. It is
that
the
the
most
one where it's
adorable.
like a storybook?
Yeah, it's the most adorable game. You play this hero who's in a storybook, and then the villain gets all meta and realizes he realized, hey, I'm in a storybook, and I can rearrange the entire book so that evil wins. So the entire game is you having to rewrite the book, go into places that the book doesn't go. Like you can switch words. Like instead of it saying it was a tiny frog, now you say it was a gigantic frog. But you have to swap the words. You have to find the words and swap them. It's an homage to Nintendo games and other games because the very first thing you do in that game is you play Punch Out. with an army with a big guy. You play Punch Out. So it is really cute. The graphics are great. When you leave the storybook, everything that you have becomes 3D and realistic. So if you're holding a big key when you jump out, you still become a cartoon character, but in 3D. But the key looks like a real golden key. There are real life bugs running around, and they're disturbing as shit. But yeah, Scott, I'm going to tell you right, the Plucky Squire is right up your alley.
I think so. You're right.
It's the sort of thing you can play with your daughter too.
Oh yeah.
It's basically the entire game is sort of an homage to Zelda, but it includes all the other Nintendo games with it. The other game I played that was not new, but is Slay the Princess. And I knew nothing about this game. It was suggested to me. It looked interesting. It's a visual novel, but disturbing as hell.
Yeah, I've heard about this one.
It takes like 5 hours to play, probably less, maybe 3 hours now that I know what I'm doing. And then after you finish it, you can continue on because every time you choose a selection, it creates a different princess. Like, the basic thing is, you know what it really is? It's the Stanley Parable, because there's a narrator and other narrators talking as you're doing stuff. And if you don't do what the narrator says, he gets pissy and all that stuff. So in the very first walkthrough, you know, he tells you there's a princess, and if you don't kill her, the world and all the people will die. So the entire game is you deciding whether to kill the princess or not. So the very first time, I decided, you know what? I'm just going to do everything. And I just went up to her. I didn't say a word, and I just stabbed her in the heart and killed her. No dialogue. Just so what happens is you die, and then you resurrect, and then a new voice, depending on what you did. In my case, if I just went up to the princess and killed her without saying a word, the new voice was cold. And that guy, see, the first voice that's with you is always the voice of the hero. Then I got the voice of the cold, and the voice of the cold reflects how you just were really cold and just iced her. And he starts talking. And then when you get to her, she's there dead, and then she always turns into something that's based on what you did. In this version, she turned into sort of a lich-like creature, and just, you know, and the dialogue goes on from there. And then you die, and you start over, and you start over, and you start, and every time you have to do something different. And when you get a certain number of princesses, then the game reveals what it's really about. And when it says at the beginning it's a love story, yeah, it is. It is a love story. I'm sort of like this. Let me get on the front of the camera. I'm sort of like so on visual novels. This visual novel is a lot different and a lot more interesting because it had a lot going on. At first, it seems very simple. As a matter of fact, one of the things you can do is you can do the action, then refuse to go back and die yourself, and the game will end like, wow. So the hype was really, what was all the hype about? It actually ends. The game over. That's it. You finish the game. It's like one of those non-standard game overs, like in Batman Arkham City. If you have Catwoman just walk off and not save Batman, game over. It's like one of those, or if you stay at the table, which was it, Far Cry 4? In which you stay at the dinner table and you don't move from it, and you just wait for him to come back. Game over. It's sort of like that, but the writing is really good. At first, I thought the writing was kind of too-y, you know, because it's obvious they were inspired by the Stanley Parable, but it had its own energy, and it was really, really good. Plucky Squire, what else did I... Oh, yeah. I also tried Turnip Boy Robs a Bank, which is the sequel to Turnip Boy Does Tax Evasion. And basically, it's just a shoot-'em-up roguelike, you know, in the like, not Stanley. You know what I'm saying? Isaac, the Binding of Isaac, you know, and you just get new weapons and all that stuff. It's cute. I like it. So, yeah, those are the games I've been playing. Oh, I also started doing South Park: The Fractured But Whole, and this time I'm doing it as a black kid because that's the most difficult level to do it at.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, another game that's on Game Pass right now is Donut County. If you haven't played it, try it. I played it a long time ago. It's basically reverse of Katamari Damacy, in which you're creating a hole and eating stuff. And it is cute as hell. And I'm going to tell you something. The one character everybody loves is RJ. His name is not RJ. That's from Over the Hedge. But the raccoon, I forgot his name. But the raccoon is he's Bender as a raccoon. He doesn't give a crap. He's like, who, me? It's never my fault. It is all his fault because he's destroying the town, looking for garbage. So, yeah. So we're going to go on to quick news. And Scott, you wanted to talk about the ruling with the U.S. Congress about library preservation.
Yes, there was a movement to get let's see, past few years,
Allow people to rent out video games in libraries as part of video game preservation.
yeah, they wanted to be able to share between the digital libraries, and unfortunately, the U.S. Patent Office or Copyright Office had denied the request for a DMCA exception that would allow libraries to remotely share the digital
For the
library.
fucking stupidest reason. You know what they said? People will enjoy themselves.
Yeah, I know, that's crazy, right?
Really? And I'm glad I'm doing this video so you see my eyebrows raising like that. Really? And people aren't enjoying books, movies, and CDs? Really?
Mm.
I mean, it's a real shame because it's like we
Entertainment value? Yeah. I hope people are entertained by books.
and
I hope
only
people are
80
entertained by CDs and movies.
Yeah, it's like only 87% of games that have been made are no longer legally
Yeah,
available.
that's the stat. Is 87% of games in the past have not are no longer are now considered lost media. I would imagine there's like 20,000 Commodore 64 games alone. I don't know how many would survive.
Copyright law in regards to like dormant IP is so. It's the most complicated and ridiculous law, from what I understand, for one thing, and just like how much it keeps creativity out of like new hands or like just even new things from happening based on who owns it at any given time. I mean, we all remember that's what killed Friday the 13th, the game, right? where it was a rights issue.
Hey, guess what? We have a viewer who wants me to shout out her friend Joe, and TJ, she wants you to wave. There the circle is kind of, so just do it in front of your face. There you go. We waved. Enjoy it. So yeah, it is just petty as hell. I mean, the ESA does a lot of good things, but this is just publisher bullshit. Because here's what they want to do is they just don't want people to profit, even if they're not profiting on it.
I mean, there are games that I think are just straight up abandonware. Like nobody even owns them anymore, let alone maintains them in any way. And it's just, I mean, with games going losing physical versions of themselves now and going mostly digital, this really needs to get better control of our digital rights of these games.
Yeah.
That sucks. Yeah, it really does.
Homestar had something to say about it. I hope the Chapmans don't sue me now. So anyways, yeah. Moving on to the other news we have. Minecraft is dropping VR support next year, and not on PlayStation VR headsets after the final update on March 2025. And also, they had already said they were going to stop it on PC as well. Yeah, I guess the 5 or 6 of you are going to be really disappointed.
Yeah, well, it was not a whole lot of people. I think I only remember one YouTuber using it, and most people
it's kind of hard to stream VR games. They always look so weird. They have that tunnel vision look.
Yeah, that is odd. Usually, like you'll see the person's face, and like the game is like off in a different corner. And
here's the thing. Yeah, here's the thing. A lot of people say, because here's a little known fact. There are ways to play Minecraft VR without needing Microsoft support. There are other software that actually make Minecraft VR, so they're not really losing anything. They just have to download another what's called app that's going to help them do it. It's I can see why Minecraft is doing it, because no one on PlayStation is doing it. That's the problem. PC they really never worried about because they were going to have VR no matter what. PlayStation though, I mean the PlayStation State of Play did have a few new PSVR 2 games, but
nothing
it's still
spectacular, and none of it was even first party.
Yeah.
Like, it's sad that the PSVR 2 is like probably the best gaming VR headset that nobody's using right now. It's it really does suck. And like, I don't even remember Mojang announcing Minecraft for PSVR. So like,
Oh, I remember. There was a lot of excitement on the PlayStation page because a lot of people were saying, finally, something we do. I guess not enough of them wanted to do it.
yeah,
So,
shame.
I honestly thought it ended a long time ago, but apparently it's only now officially shuttering. So,
yeah, but like I said, PC players don't have to worry about it. If they really want to play Minecraft in VR, there's other software that'll do it for them.
Just another reason right now for the PSVR 2 to collect dust on a shelf.
Hey, my Oculus Quest 2 is. I'm glad I didn't get the 3 because I think I would have spent more money to do nothing.
Yeah.
Although here's the thing, the Oculus Quest 3 has such good tech. Actually, if I'm going to get a VR, I'm waiting for what HTC is going to come out with because they're coming out with a badass VR set, and if I'm going to get one, I'm going to get the best.
Oh yeah, they did just announce a new one pretty recently.
Yeah, and HTC makes really high end shit. It's really high end.
It's something like $1,200 if I remember correctly, but
I can afford it.
No, it's not. Never mind. It's $999.
Wow, it's really low. Okay.
Yeah, it's probably the cheapest one that they've done because most of their stuff is usually over $1,000. The Vive Focus Vision Hybrid, which is kind of supposed to be their challenge.
VR AR. Yeah. VR AR. Here's the thing. The one thing that the MetaQuest did right is having just a headset, and that's it. Not having to worry about anything else like those, having to have those towers next to you,
Yeah.
So, we'll see. Moving on. Very sad. Ubisoft Montpellier has been disbanded. They're the ones who did Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, and the reason is kind of simple. The game didn't sell. It sold ass. It didn't even break 1 million. It was, and here's the thing: that's the best Prince of Persia in a very long time.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it at all. It's by all accounts of everyone I've heard that I've talked to that played the game, they loved it. It was a 9 out of 10 for us at Shack News, and like everybody else that I've ever talked to that gave it a go really enjoyed it.
Yeah, you know what? I'm willing to bet you a year from now it's going to be for $5 to $6, and people will play the shit out of it.
Probably.
Yeah.
It's a dang good Metroidvania.
Yeah. I actually have it coming to me. Oh no, actually, I have a game that's been bashed a bit, and I keep on hearing a lot of the new Star Wars game. It's been a lot of mixed reviews, so I'm finally going to be able to do my own opinion on it.
Star Wars Outlaws?
Yeah, because here's the thing. I read your review. And I'm still withholding judgment because I heard a lot of the same stuff about other games that I really, really loved, like BioShock 2. Right? Yeah. So it's going to be interesting. I keep on hearing various things like the stealth sucks, the stealth is good. Everybody loves the faction system, I guess, but we'll see. Obsidian says both big and small decisions will matter in Avowed, and water is wet, the sky is blue. Obsidian loves to have your choices matter in their games. And it's always the same comparison, like Fallout, your choices may matter. New Vegas, they make it really matter, you know? So we're going to see about Avowed. People are still raving about the choices that you can make in Pillars of Eternity 2. And that how alive that world is, which is why I think people are really excited about Avowed, because hopefully it'll be just as alive as the second game.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that game too.
You played Pillars of Eternity, didn't you, Scott?
Yes, I played both of them and enjoyed both of the games. And I remember enjoying the story and what characters I used to do the journey. And you pick what faction you want to side with, which I think gives you the last battle depending on who you factioned with. You'll be like the opposing side. Yeah, the world was big, so we're visiting a whole different region of that world, which is very interesting and has only been hinted at.
Yeah. So thank goodness it's in Game Pass. It's the sort of game that I would be on a fence about, but since it's on Game Pass, I have no excuse. I can just play it. How about you, TJ? Are you looking forward to Avowed?
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the Outer Worlds, and I know that you weren't a huge fan of it in the end, but I
No.
played it all the way through to the credits, and I enjoyed what I did play of it. I haven't had a chance to spend a lot of time in the Pillars of Eternity universe, but
It's very
Everything
Baldur's Gate.
everything I've seen about it just seems fun. Like the dual wielding that they've got in that game, like dual wielding a pistol and spells in your other hand. I'm into it. I like the setups that they've got.
Coldridge, the game is a 4X cowboy game. It's now available. It's by two developers who worked in the Endless series with Amplitude. So I saw screenshots of this, and it's a 4X game, except it's the Old West. And sure, it's about cowboys. It's Red Dead Redemption meets Civilization. So I may give that one a gander.
Concept.
What?
That's a crazy concept. Very interesting.
Wild West 4X. Yeah.
Yeah. It looks interesting. I'm always into games that are just a little bit off kilter. So I'm probably going to check it out at some point. Coldridge, folks. Coldridge. And were they really surprised that the Yakuza games would be a smash hit on the Switch?
That's very odd. That they like one of the most beloved action franchises being put on
Japanese action franchises, too.
Being put on one of the most popular consoles with one of the largest user bases right now.
And also a huge Japanese user base, too. Yeah, I mean... I've never really gotten into the Yakuza because I don't really. The Yakuza. I'm into Ichiban's games because it's Dragon Quest, but I've never really been able to connect with the action that's in Yakuza. You know. But a lot of people love those games, and it's like for years they were begging for it to be on the Xbox, and when it was on the Xbox and on Game Pass, no less, people just went nuts. So obviously, here's the thing: I think the main thing was trying to fit these games onto a Switch. I think that was the main problem, but they found a way.
Kiwami is like it's a remaster of the first game, from what I understand.
No, yeah, the first game, but they also release Yakuza 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 0 on the Switch as well. I'm not sure.
I don't think they've done that much. They may have put a few on there, but I don't know if they put. I don't know that they've put a 6 on the Switch.
Okay. But yeah, just having the first one, it should be enough for... So anyways, we're going to move on to game news, and we're going to talk about Metaphor again. Metaphor ReFantazio director Katsura Hashino is already working on a new game. The game released last week to unanimous critical acclaim, which is probably not surprising. Its famed director Katsura Hashino commandeered the Persona 5. Following the success of Persona 5, Hashino formed a new Atlas arm called Studio Zero in 2016 to work on Metaphor ReFantazio. Those of us we knew was actually a Final Fantasy game, which was turned into a Final Fantasy type game, then known as Zero ReFantasy, in which involved leaving Persona in the hands of P Studio. A new Famitsu interview with Silent Hill. Toriyama actually interviewed him? Really? It's interesting. He revealed that Studio Zero is actually working on a new game, and asked what the studio will move to after Metaphor. Hashino said, they've already started. Hashino says, and this is very important, there's a little bit of context here. It wasn't founded just to make Metaphor ReFantazio. Instead, it's a place for new endeavors. It calls itself Studio Zero, which tells me whatever they're working on, it's not Metaphor ReFantazio 2. They're working on something completely new.
Seems like they might not be going immediately back to Shin Megami Tensei or Persona either.
No.
Because
Well, no, I mean they stuck all that stuff to the P Studio, right?
Yeah. And so it seems like we're looking at a possibility of an entirely new IP again, which that would be dope. I for what we've seen in Metaphor ReFantazio, that game is very much like a really strong evolution of everything that Persona was doing right and shedding the few things that it was doing wrong.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of people, like myself included, have looked at that game and compared it to like there were like pain points in Persona. You like I mentioned before, having to have like the one persona on each character, that was kind of obnoxious. And then the fast travel in Metaphor ReFantazio is so good as well. Like so many time savers in that game that were probably born out of complaints people had about the Persona series.
Yeah. I mean, also, I wonder if they're going to do another game that's Persona style, like Metaphor ReFantazio, except this time they're going to go into science fiction, like space opera stuff, like either Star Wars or Star Trek or something like that.
I don't know.
I mean, people like this style of game, and maybe it'll be sort of like an anthology of different types of settings for Persona to go into, because Metaphor ReFantazio is far away from Persona, but it's not too far away,
Yeah. So you think that they'll try for something just like in an altogether different genre this time?
No, I think they're going to do something that's the same action RPG as Persona and Metaphor and all that stuff, but something with a different feel. It's sort of like going from Dark Souls to Elden Ring, right? Or going from Final Fantasy to Final Fantasy to Final Fantasy to Final Fantasy to Final Fantasy. All those games are different. No, I mean, but an entirely different genre, not in game, but in setting.
It's going to be interesting to see what they do, because like they are firing on all cylinders with what they've got in Metaphor ReFantazio, so they're coming into their next game with probably higher expectations out of everybody.
Yeah, I mean, people are already calling it Game of the Year already. There's a lot of people. I mean, there's other stuff that's going to come out. Eurogamer just reviewed Dragon Age: The Veil Guardian. They say it's the best BioWare game he's ever played. I mean, the best BioWare game ever played. I mean, I played Mass Effect 2 and 3. That's a high bar to go over. But at least, you know what? There are people who really like it, and there are people who are meh about it. But at least no one's saying it sucks. And that's the important part to me. So we'll see. Even if they did say they suck, I already bought the game. So, DJ, take the next news item.
Alrighty.
Oh wait! We just had this just popped up in a second, and here's Larian loves Dragon Age: The Veilguard, saying it's the first Dragon Age game that truly knows what it wants to be. In a word, it's fun. And I know your review, TJ, was kind of contradictory to that. Because one thing that other people don't like about it is that it seems like it's stagey and it's operatic, but it doesn't really have what makes, Dragon Age. So there's two different thoughts on this. This is sort of like, oh God, I want to think of a movie, not any of the Star Wars movies. Donnie Darko. There are some people who despise that movie, and there's some or don't really think any of it, and some people who think Donnie Darko is the best thing since sliced bread.
Yeah, like I don't know. Do you want me to share my opinion on Dragon Age?
No. We're doing that next week, because then we can go have some back and forth.
Because I have a lot of opinions about Dragon Age.
But you can gag about it, and just like I said, if you want to read his review, it's on Shack News. It has, I don't know, are they spoilers? They're kind of minor spoilers. Very minor.
The funniest response to the funniest thing I've seen in the criticism out there is that the things that I considered like a problem or annoying about the game were like highlights for other people. I don't know how to feel about that. Was I just being a curmudgeon or what? I don't know.
I mean, there is that saying, one man's treasure is another man's garbage. There are things that I like in some games that other people absolutely hate, but there are things they like that I don't.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just that's how it is with different opinions and gaming, and I don't know. I've seen good reviews for the Veilguard, so I don't know. I guess some people are happy, or enough people are.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fair.
Here's the
It's fair
thing
to
that
say that.
Here's the thing that concerns me, and correct me if I'm wrong, but David Gator did not write Dragon Age or Veilguard, did he?
No.
Yeah, that's the one thing that concerns me. Also, the fact that they initially announced that there's only going to be 3 real decisions that pass over if you wanted to save Solus. There are 3 decisions, and I'm trying to remember. One of them was Solus. I forgot what. But here's the thing, one of the biggest decisions you make in Dragon Age Inquisition is who gets sacrificed in the Fade to the Nightmare. That's kind of big. It's either Hawk, Loghain, Alistair, the generic what's his face? The generic Grey Warden, who of all those people are not involved. One of those people die, and it's like that's kind of major, especially if it's Hawk.
Mhm.
You don't care about the fate of Hawk in Inquisition. You don't care about the fate about the Warden from the first game. It annoys me. That annoys me because
they do have a pretty good decision selection program at the beginning
I
of
know.
Veilguard.
Oh, okay.
That lets you
which means it
all
was
the-
lazy.
well,
actually,
if you don't have your save file from Inquisition, it lets you go in and pick those major decisions as if
I
you played the
haven't.
game.
But here's the thing about Dragon Age Keep: you can edit it any way you like, so it doesn't really matter that much. If you can create your own save world state in Dragon Age Keep, doesn't matter. You don't have to hack save files. They'll just say, okay, fine. That's the way you want it. That's the way you want it.
Sure, I was just saying that it hits you with that option to if you don't have your save file from Inquisition,
I have my save file.
you can make a series of decisions that represent what you would have done in Inquisition.
Because what I really like is at the end, my character became really good friends with Solus, right? And
Mhm.
at the end, it was like, I want to save my friend from himself. So that's the other thing that annoys me. I know there's been a different protagonist in every single Dragon Age. You had the Warden in 1, you had Hawk in 2, you had the Inquisitor in 3. I would have liked to have played the Inquisitor in this game because they set up that the other 2 games didn't have the same cliffhanger as Inquisition did. I mean, there he is. Dorian is with him and the other 3. I mean, what is he going to do? Just faff about now?
Yeah.
EA, I mean, seriously. Because I think I don't know what's going on there. It's just disappointing. What else? Yeah. So the thing is about, it's not written by David Gator, which means I'm worried about that kind of disconnect.
The listed main writer is someone named Chick Weeks, who
I don't know.
they've put in time on they started on the original Mass Effect, I guess.
Yeah, but Mass Effect is not Dragon Age.
Yeah, but they've lent their talent to Mass Effect, Dragon Age Origins, Mass Effect 2, Mass Effect 3, Inquisition. And
the thing is that, the major part of it is that in this game, and it's not a spoiler because it's right there in the opening gameplay video, is that Solus is trying to tear open the Fade so that dreams and thing. And what happens if you do that? Demons come into the world, and it's going to be a big mess. And 2 of the Evanuris pop up and say hi, and he's in trouble because if I need to know anything known about the backstory of Solus, aka Fen'Harel, aka the Dreadwolf, is that he created the Fade to stop the elven mages who were so powerful they were indistinguishable from gods from taking over the world because they were engaging in slavery and all that stuff. And then they killed Mythal, and that pissed him off. So he said, "Screw it, I'm just gonna cut you off." I have to ask Solus one question. What did you think was going to happen? What did you think was going to happen? Do you think the Evanuris were just going to say, "Oh, well, look, he's doing it. We'll just stay here"? No, they hate your guts. They want to murder you.
Yeah, They want to murder everybody.
But here's the thing: Solus during the entire series has been one misjudgment after another. Because remember what kicks off the plot of Dragon Age Inquisition? We find out that it was Solus who gave Corypheus the orb, thinking it would kill Corypheus, but not knowing that Corypheus had an archdemon that he could just soul leap into. And that started everything. So Solus has been doing one bad decision after another. Sorry, Solus, but you're an idiot. You can be a godlike mage, but you're an idiot. I actually posted my ending of Dragon Age Inquisition onto YouTube. So
Yeah. So I look forward to having that conversation because I have a lot of opinions on this game.
I will finish it before we have the next podcast. It's releasing on the 31st. I'm going to all night it probably. Just constantly play, unless it really pisses me off and the gameplay really, really sucks. But that's the one thing that people are saying is good, is that it's fully gone action RPG and it's fine. Although, as usual, I have never really bothered with my companions. Just let them do what they want. I mean, I've done that in 1, 2, and 3. I've always made myself a mage and just protected myself and let them beat the shit out of everybody else. The first time I play, I'm probably going to play on story mode because I really don't care about combat anyway. I just care about story. We'll see. I mean, like I said, I am a Mass Effect fanboy. I am a Dragon Age fanboy. I got to play Dragon Age like a year and a half before that. No, 2 years before it actually came out. The first part, anyway. So, at some point, I hope they just meld all the games together like they did with the Mass Effect Collector's Edition, Legendary Edition. Just clump them all together so you don't have to even pop the. You can. It won't need the Dragon Age keep. It'll just record everything in the save file as you go along. So yeah. Anyways, what I was talking about was he loved it. Dow says it feels to me like the first Dragon Age game that truly knows what it wants to be. If you want some character-driven romping with a strong combat system and a universe you know, love, or have heard better, it is much better than the average action game and much less heavy than the gargantuan RPGs that made. Yeah, the first time I played Dragon Age Origins, it took 100 hours for me to finish because I made the mistake of doing a lot in it. And now when I play it, I know exactly where to go, and I just use that kill everything on the screen cheat code because the combat in Origins sucks. There's a reason why they changed it for 2. I know a lot of people liked it because of the tactical, but I hated it. It was just slow as hell. Did you play? You said you played 2 and 3. Did you play 1?
I did play 1.
Oh, okay. I played it on PC.
You're talking about Origins when you say 1.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just like when I say, did you play Mass Effect 1? I mean Mass Effect.
Yeah.
It's hard for me. Mass Effect has a better story than Dragon Age has. But, I don't know, there seems to be a lot more emotion in Dragon Age. The ending of Dragon Age, after you do all your stuff, they have that scene afterwards. They have a denouement. And it's like you get to talk to everybody after you've just won the game, and it's sort of like really heartwarming because you're talking to them. Unless you killed yourself, then you just have Honora or whoever you made leader talking to your brother. But I just, it just felt like you did something in Dragon Age Origins, and I think a lot of people liked it too. I also love the Denerim theme. Dragon Age 2 was depressing as hell. I still found a lot of emotion in it. Dragon Age 3 did not give me the same emotion until I got the Trespasser DLC. Then it really formed into shape. For those who don't know what the Trespasser DLC is, when you learn that Solus is the Fen'Harel, and your entire thing is trying to stop him and stuff. It's so... I don't know. Which do you prefer, Mass Effect or Dragon Age?
I'm probably going to sound like a huge hypocrite here, but I like Dragon Age Origins combat for Dragon Age.
I mean, I know why people would like it because it's very, very tactical.
I like Dragon Age Origins combat for Dragon Age, and I like Mass Effect 2's combat for Mass Effect.
Well, Mass Effect 2's combat was really, really good. I mean, they refined it for 3, right?
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's when they really, Also, Here's the thing: I like the story better in Mass Effect 3 than 2, but I like the companion missions in 2 a lot better.
Hmm.
Yeah. Anyways, I've been talking too much. I'm just saying, Larian loves Dragon Age, loves Dragon Age Veilguard. He loves it.
Oh, there it is.
Yep. Oh, another minor item that just popped up. Bungie says Marathon is on track, but a little too early to show. Do you believe him, or what do you? I mean, when they say on track, what do they really mean?
He said that they're looking at getting more play tests ready for 2025. So it looks like they're still in like figuring out what to do with it and make sure it plays the way that people will actually enjoy.
Are you getting Concord vibes? I am.
I don't know what vibes
They're delaying. They're delaying this game a little bit too much.
Yeah, but I mean, like they had to pivot a lot of their resources back to Destiny after they had a rough launch with the Final Shape. No, wait, hold on. It was the one before that. But Destiny has been kind of off and on for a bit on a roller coaster of like people are mad at it, people love it, and there was a big player exodus from it within the last year where it had probably one of the biggest slumps it had in its entire history since Destiny 1. As for Marathon, like I still don't know what I don't know what to expect out of that game because I don't even know what they're going for outside of extraction shooter. I've looked at the original game and then I've looked at the glimpses they show of the new game, and like outside of the name, I don't know how these things are connected.
No, I just think Bungie is lost without a paddle right now. I have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah,
it's like they're almost demanding Sony eat them up.
I don't know what happens. Like if they don't knock it out of the park with Marathon, I am concerned for Bungie's future after that.
Yeah. Did you hear about this? And this is news to me, but maybe you heard about it already. The first City Skylines is getting paid DLC.
The first game, not the second game?
No, the first game is getting paid DLC. That does not bode well for 2.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about that. Oh, no. Like, the second game's doing so well that they're going to go back and start making paid content for the first game again.
I don't know what's going on. I will say, City Skylines 2 as it is, and I'm not talking about the glitches and graphical glitches that I was suffering and I haven't come back to. It was really, really, really good. I was really having a lot of fun. The graphical glitches pushed me away, and I haven't had a chance to get back to it. And I don't know. There's something going on with Focus Home Interactive. They're screwing up left and right on this stuff. I don't know what's going on with them. Which makes me not so sure about their upcoming Zoo Tycoon. No, I'm sorry, the theme park. It's not making me excited about the next iteration of their theme park game.
See, I don't know if I'm. Wait, are you talking about Planet Coaster? No.
Yeah, Planet Coaster 2. Oh no, wait, was it Planet Zoo? No, it was Planet Coaster 2 they're making. Yeah, didn't they announce that?
The people that make City Skylines, or are you talking about? Because Frontier Developments makes.
That's what I'm talking about. Oh, doesn't Frontier do both? Yeah, they do both. Frontier does Planet Coaster 2 as well.
They publish cities. Colossal Order develops cities.
Colossal does? I thought it was Frontier.
Colossal develops the game. Frontier, I think, actually handles Planet Coaster.
Yeah, they're doing Planet Coaster 2. It's coming out next year.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, it's coming out wait, what? It's coming out on the 6th of November.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What the hell?
It is. But yeah, that was the difference to me is that like Frontier Developments works firsthand on Planet Coaster and Planet Zoo.
Do you realize that all these games are coming out, and I didn't really, I forgot they were coming out?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like, oh, yeah, Veilguard this week. Oh, wait, oh, yeah, Flight Simulator 2 in 3 weeks.
There are too many games. There are too many games.
I'm telling you right now, Flight Simulator 2024. If it's half what it's supposed to be, that is totally my shit. Totally to have an open world RPG in which you pick the jobs you want to do. Like, okay, I will be I don't know, a rescue guy in a helicopter. I'm going to come and rescue people in my helicopter, that sort of thing, and then get out. Oh no, actually, wildlife photographer.
Yeah.
So.
Like, I thought I had my games of the year figured out for the most part this year, but like I was certain that I was going to be voting for Unicorn Overlord for best RPG, but Metaphor ReFantazio has me rethinking.
And like I said, there's still some huge games coming out, and it's like Microsoft Simulator 2024. It's like, if it's what it promises to be, that's going to be my.
Indiana Jones is also still supposed to land this year.
Yeah, but not the problem. But the thing about that is it's more conventional. It's a more conventional game.
But it's landing right in December, like right at the cusp of 2024.
Yeah. By the way, there's new collaboration card packs with Balatro. They now have Cyberpunk 2077 and Stardew Valley.
Yep.
But only on the PC version, which it's annoying because I haven't seen it pop up on my Xbox version.
Yeah, they only have they added the Witcher deck to the mobile version, and then I think they are also doing a Cyberpunk deck.
Yeah, Cyberpunk and Stardew.
Mm-hmm.
They've also done Vampire Survivors, David Diver, and Among Us, and The Witcher.
I think they're also doing a couple more. I think I saw Slay the Spire.
Yeah, that's probably coming out. That's coming, and also The Binding of Isaac.
Yeah. How do you feel about the Slay of the Spire deck?
I'm still waiting for Slay the Spire 2. It's supposed to come out in early access next year. Oh, that's right. I actually finally won with The Watcher.
Nice.
Yeah, but it was on the Steam version. I have to do it on the Xbox version to add to my gamer score. But yeah, so many games coming out, and we haven't even gone to the second article. Here, TJ, do the second article before we forget.
All right. Sony wanted to lock Crimson Desert into a timed PlayStation exclusivity deal. From Eurogamer. Sony reportedly tried to lock Crimson Desert developer Pearl Abyss into a timed PlayStation exclusivity deal. According to a translation of the developer's investor relations, Pearl Abyss was approached by Sony with the PlayStation maker hoping to act as a publisher for the studio's upcoming open-world action adventure. Should Pearl Abyss have taken Sony up on its offer, Crimson Desert would have remained a PlayStation exclusive for 1 year with no release on Xbox. PC distribution rights would have also belonged to Sony. The developer, which is best known for MMORPG Black Desert Online, as well as its upcoming creature collector Dokkaebi, said that this offer... Wow, a Dokkaebi reference. We haven't heard anything about Dokkaebi in like probably a year or two. That one was a weird one. I love their little music video ads. But
hey, wait, do you still play Ooblets?
I haven't played it in a while, but I remember that one. There was a period where a bunch of creature collectors were coming out.
But only Ooblets had your creature battles have it by having dance-offs.
Yeah. The developer said that this offer from Sony was appealing due to the company's marketing power and other incentives. However, Pearl Abyss ultimately decided to decline Sony's offer and move forward with self-publishing, something it is said to be 99% certain it will do. As for Dokkaebi, Pearl Abyss said it expects the delayed project, once set to arrive in 2023, will now arrive around 18 months after Crimson Desert's launch. Pearl Abyss comments come following reports PlayStation also entered into an exclusivity deal with Black Myth Wukong, which caused confusion around its forthcoming Xbox release.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff going on with that game, Black Myth Wukong. Did we talk about this? Because from what I understand, Wukong did not come out on Xbox because the Xbox version had a serious memory leak. And a lot of people are not buying that, but a lot of industry insiders are saying, yeah, that's actually what's happening.
Yeah, I don't know. On the matter of this one though, like it.
Talking about Sony's, um, their marketing power. Microsoft just had a friggin' People magazine with the I forgot his name, the Eliminator, whatever his name, on as a fake cover. And also, there's a huge Call of Duty 6 thing over there in Times Square.
Yeah, but like Pearl Abyss has been kicking around forever with Black Desert Online. At least I like. I wonder why. I wonder what PlayStation was offering to have made it appealing in a way that like because like they've established themselves at this point.
Money?
I suppose, and it is an MMO. It is like a new MMO, so I would guess they're concerned that they won't get all the players that they have.
It could be a spin-off. Well, it's probably a spin-off of Black Desert.
It is. It's like a full new MMO game.
Here's the thing. I think it is really popular with Xbox players, so I'm guessing Pearl Abyss wanted to continue that because here's the thing with an MMO. Timed exclusivity can harm the population.
Yeah, and I would expect the biggest player base for Black Desert Online. I would expect that it's on PC anyways, rather than console. I might be wrong, but like, I don't know. I don't know why you would agree to just have exclusivity to PlayStation when it seems like that game, for as long as it's been around, benefits from being on more platforms.
Yeah. By the way, did you hear this? The thing that was speaking of exclusivity, did you hear about this about Helldivers perhaps going to Xbox? Helldivers 2 anyway. There was a lot of discussion that it might be.
No, I haven't heard anything new about Helldivers and Xbox yet. I would assume that if it was going to happen, we're going to be coming up on the 1 year mark of Helldivers because it was a 2024 game and they probably still have exclusivity on that. So I feel like the year for that is probably like the turn of the year on that is probably coming up soon. So I would expect to probably start seeing announcements for Xbox or other things in February or March.
Yeah. Here's the community manager on it, Twinbeard. He said, "Who says it couldn't? It's not up to us, but to Sony and Phil to duke it out. But hypothetically speaking, if both partners think it would benefit them from a financial brand standpoint, it could. If Sony believes it won't benefit the company, though, it won't." Okay. And there's other stuff that's going on that sort of is like Helldivers is losing players, and Sony, I think, might want players. And here's the thing with live service games. You want as many players as possible. That's why Minecraft has always been multi-platform. That's why Call of Duty is going to be multi-platform for the next 10 years. And I doubt it's not going to be multi-platform later unless the... Oh, by the way, the single-player mode for Call of Duty 6 has been getting rave reviews. Everybody loves it. And here's the reason why. 2 words. Raven Software. They know how to make a story, and they know how to make a good game. So Activision having Raven Software do the single-player campaign mode for Black Ops 6 was a genius move.
Yeah, no kidding. Like, it does feel like when Raven's turn is up, they do it better than I would say Treyarch or Infinity Ward.
Yeah, I think they did the Jedi Knight games for one, and they did the Soldier of Fortune games. So they know how to do a good story, and they from what I understand, they went all in on the camp with this one. Just it's silly. We're gonna exploit that. We're gonna make it as silly, bloody, as silly as possible. It's gonna be an action movie that is just goofy and scary at the same time. What are you staring at? So, by the way, speaking of Black Ops 6, there's they estimate it'll bring 4 million new Game Pass subscribers, even though that'll cost them like 6 million sales. But here's the thing: I think Microsoft thinks that's a good trade because you only get those $70 sales once.
Right.
Yeah, when you have a subscriber, that's a lot of money.
They also just raised the price on Xbox on pretty much every tier, right? So they're getting the extra dollars out of that as well.
Yeah, they're getting. Here's the thing: if you get Call of Duty Black Ops 6, you can still get some modules for $30. So it's not, you're getting the base game for free, but you can get all the other stuff for the same price, and people are going to buy it because it's not cheapo stuff, and like it's not like a lot of JRPGs who sell $5 costumes. Oh boy, I forgot what I was going to say about this. But yeah, I mean, the one thing that Black Ops 6 is having problems with is the multiplayer right now. They're having spawn issues.
Yeah.
But that's to be expected whenever a game is released. The multiplayer aspect is usually screwed up, especially when you have billions of people playing at once.
I think you're right, though. It's probably like Xbox is probably looking at the long term on this compared to the short term that would come from those day one sales.
Yeah. I mean, the price raise on Game Pass, if you're talking about that, hasn't really been that much of a, it's not enough to really have. They raise it $1, no one's going to go, oh my God, $1? So I go for Game Pass Ultimate because that gives me everything, and I'm still waiting because I'm part of the Insider program, and the one feature that they're doing now is any digital game you own, you'll be able to stream onto your cell phone. I'm saying, hey, Balatro on my cell phone. Great. I don't need to get the cell phone version. I'll just play it directly on my cell phone. So there's that at least. So, yeah. Like I said, I'm looking forward to playing Dragon Age Veilguard. And next week we will be talking. I'll be able to talk to you about it on an even keel.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to discussing it.
Yeah. Scott, let me know if you ever play the Plucky Knight. I'm sorry, the Plucky Squire.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyways, look for our show notes at gamingpodcast.net, along with industry news and our gaming history articles. We enjoy feedback. See those comments on our blog at gamingpodcast.net. Also, this up at facebook.com/gamingpodcast. Subscribe to us on iTunes and leave us some iTunes comments. You can find me on Twitter at Jonah Falcon.
You can find me at Johnny Chugs.
And you can find Scott asleep right now or doing something. But that's okay. We will be here next week. Happy gaming, everyone.
Have fun, be cool, play games, y'all.
And also, I hope you enjoyed this live stream on YouTubes. It was an experiment, and it wasn't so bad.
Yeah.
I just need to be able to check the comments more often. Anyways, see you next week. Bye-bye.
Take care, everybody.
End stream. Oh, yeah, we can now also salute people as we go off.
Mm-hmm.
You can't see it. This is going to be on the podcast, too, but you can't see it, but I'm saluting. Bye. Didn't.